going to present the relationship between extroversion, introversion, and English proficiency among English major students. I'm the presenter, Patty, and my advisor is Dr. Wang Qingchen. The table of contents include introduction, literature review, and methodology. The background, purpose, and research questions and the significance of the study are all included in the first section, introduction.
You okay?
I'm sick.
Thank you.
The classroom in Taiwan where English is learned as a second language with the amount of approximately 45 students help and only one teacher's help. It's not easy for teachers to notice the relationship between every student's personality type and their English proficiency. When it comes to extroverts, people always think that they are outgoing, open-minded, talkative, and sociable, while introverts are shy, quiet, non-talkative, and unsociable. And extroverts with these characteristic personality type are more willing to try new things and learn from mistakes. That's why people always think that extroverts are better language learner, which is so-called a stereotype. And the purpose of this study attempts to probe into the relationship between extroversion, introversion, and students' English proficiency in Taiwan. Here are 3 research questions. Research question 1. Do extroverts perform better on their TOEIC test than introverts? Research question 2. Do the extroverts and introverts use similar learning strategies when learning a second language? Question 3. What are the relationships among extroversion, introversion, personality, learning strategy, and English proficiency? And the significance of the study is to provide an empirical research into the scarcity of information on Taiwanese English major students' individual differences and their English proficiency. And section 2, literature review. It can be divided into 6 parts, from general to specific. First in personality, then personality types and the notion of extroversion, introversion. The relationship between extroverted, introverted, and language proficiency. And the relationship between extroverted, introverted, and language learning strategies. And the last one, the relationship among extroverted, introverted, language learning strategies, and language proficiency. As Sharma states, personality is the type of person you are, which is shown by the way you behave, feel, and think. And personality is defined as the sum total of our mental, emotional, social, and physical characteristics that distinguish us from others. They are what make us the unique people we are. And starting from Fisk and other researchers, personality can be divided into 5 types, which are openness, neuroticism, consensus, agreeableness, and extroversion. And in my study, I will only focus on extroversion. And this trait includes characteristics such as excitability, sociability, talkativeness, assertiveness, and the high amount of emotional expressiveness. The notion of extroversion and introversion. Extroverts are always regarded as life of the party person. In contrast, introverts are thought of as quiet and reserved with tendencies toward reclusiveness. Unfortunately, these stereotypes have influenced teachers' perceptions of students. For example, people always admire the talkative and outgoing students who can participate freely in class discussion, rather than the introverts who are sometimes thought of not being smart. And the relationship between extroverted, introverted, and language proficiency. Many second language acquisition theorists claim that extroverts are the better language learners. However, according to Bush study, she mentioned that introverts actually have higher English proficiency than extroverted learners, which is not what the author expected. Here is the relationship between extroverted, introverted, and language strategies. Horwitz points out language learners are individual, approaching language learning in their own unique way. And according to Herman and Oxford, the field of language learning strategies certainly becomes important element that affect one's learning. And as you can see, here is the table of correlation among the overall 6 categories of strategy use and extroversion trait. Fazeli discovered only 3 learning strategies, which are memory strategies, metacognitive strategy, and social language learning strategies, were significantly correlated with the extroversion trait. Since 1990s, there has been a growing interest on how personality correlates to the academic performance. And according to Oxford and Nichols, individuals are characterized by a unique pattern of traits, and some studies show successful language learners choose strategies suited to their personalities. And Scanham has clarified the relationship among factors influencing language learning outcome and underlying the pivotal role of personality trait. Learning strategy certainly becomes one of the essential variables in an intermediate position. And in this figure, you can see that in the box in the left, personality in the left box can affect language proficiency, and learning strategy become one of the key elements that connect personality and language proficiency. Even there were some researchers focused on students' English proficiency and extroversion-introversion factors. Still, there were very few research conducted in Asia, especially in Taiwan. And section 3, methodology. It can be divided into 5 parts: the research design, participants and instrumentation, procedure, data analysis, and the example of the questionnaire. First, the research design. It is a quantitative study, and a survey is the preferred type of data collection. And the survey will be cross-sectional, with the data collected at one point in time. And the form of data collection will be self-administered questionnaires, which means the participants will have to answer the questionnaire on their own. And the participants in this study will be all English major students from freshman to senior. The research site is at Chaoyang University in Taichung. The instruments I will use are demographics, 12-item SM personality questionnaire, and 24-item strategy inventory for language learning. Statistical methods I will use are multiple regression, t-test, and ANOVA. Here are the way I use the statistical methods. First, t-test. It is used to infer the differences between 2 mean values and an unknown standard deviation. In my study, it is to see how different TOEIC scores extroverts and introverts will get. And then ANOVA. is used to test the differences between different demographical variables and personality types. Third, multiple regression. It is used to test whether more extroverted learners can get better choice scores or not. And here is the procedure. First, I will find the participants for pilot study, and I will conduct the pilot study, and I will have all English major students as my participants, and I will deliver the questionnaire. After that, I will collect questionnaires. Finally, I will analyze the data. And this is how I choose participants for pilot study. There are 2 classes in each year, and there are 8 classes in total, and I will only choose 1 class for pilot study. The procedure of giving out questionnaires. First, I will deliver the demographic survey, and it will be finished in 5 minutes, and then I will deliver EPQ and SILL questionnaires. Hopefully, they will be finished in 10 to 15 minutes, and all survey will be collected by myself at the end. Here is the example of my questionnaires. It can be divided into 3 parts. Part 1, I will ask them about their gender, the year, and the class. And the most important, I will ask them about their English proficiency test score. For example, TOEIC test. And part 2, language learning strategy questionnaire. It is a 5-point, it adopts 5 points Likert scale from never true of me to always true of me. And here's the example. I will use new words in a sentence so I can remember them. And part 3, essay personality questionnaire. It is a yes/no question, and the question here is, are you a lively person? And the survey will be Chinese version due to their mother tongue. Thank you for listening. Thank you.